Hello and welcome to an absolutely beautiful day here in sunny Nova Scotia. And welcome to my channel, The Optimistic Gardener. My name is Steve Farley. Well, summer has well and truly arrived here in Nova Scotia. It didn't just like knock politely on the door, it went smash straight in there, straight up with a 30 degrees on Friday, 25 degrees yesterday. That's sort of high 70s, 80s to you North Americans. And yeah, absolutely beautiful. We've had a really bad spring so far, and then straight in there with the nice high temperatures, so you can't complain. It doesn't come around very often, so I'm happy it's here anyway. And my vegetables have all reacted really well, and so have all the other plants now. So I thought about time that I did a bit of a tour of the flower gardens. They're still not in the best condition that I'd particularly like to sort of show them off. Everything's all in a bit of transition, but it's good to show you the different, you know, earlier on in the season when I first built the shady splendor, as my wife calls it, and the various other gardens that I've shown off so far in my videos. We've missed the best of my beautiful rhododendron behind there. I'll just flash up a quick photograph of it a few weeks ago, and I was actually planning to film this session a few weeks ago, and as you can see, I was stood in front of a more darker and more splendid rhododendron, but she's put on a beautiful sight for me these last couple of weeks, so I'm very thankful for that. So why don't we move on to the first of the new areas that I've developed this year, my roof seat with the rock garden raised beds. Let's have a little look there at the moment, shall we? See what's going on. So as you can see, as we walk round past the now on the wrong side of a good show rhododendron, coming around into this new area. This area with the two raised beds is part of my excuse the camera right there, is part of what is going to be my apple orchard, and it's at the moment it's got 5 apple trees. So if we walk in what would be the pathway, and there will be a hedge along this bit here at some point, so we walk in and we swing round into the seat that I built this year and the 2 raised beds that I have planted up this year. And as we walk into this area, it's flanked by the two box that I've planted, centuries either side. And then we walk in, and again flanking either side as we come in, you can just see they're very small at the minute, some small grasses, some blue fescue that I've got. They're only small, but they'll grow up nicely, not too big, but they'll be nice as a nice backdrop to the other plants, or front drop even, as we go along. And just coming out here again, I've got this is maiden grass, and that one there is, what's that one? I can't remember what it's called. Avalanche feather reed grass. So I'm hoping they'll grow nice and tall at some point, give a sort of a feeling of privacy, and then the stalks will come up nice and high. The stalks. And then on this side again, we've got one, and I'm going to need to plant another one of the grasses there. Now, this poor old hosta here is not looking too good. I don't know whether it's the wind or what. Anyone's got any thoughts on why this isn't looking too good? Maybe it is the wind. Maybe it needs to be in a bit more shade, or the sun as well. A bit more shade, which I could move it to, but he's not looking particularly happy at the moment. Behind there I've got some Shasta lilies Shasta daisies that I moved from one of my other beds when I split them up. They're doing relatively well. These are some irises there, 1, 2 and 3. They're just sort of bedding themselves in this year, I think. And here we have a nice peony. I'm pretty sure it should be a white, because everything in this garden is going to be white. A white peony, and that's just come up, brand new one this year, obviously. That is a digitalis, excuse me, get out of the way. He's growing up, that's a biennial, so I would imagine that's going to flower next year. And we're moving on here, we've got 1, 2, 3 Veronicas, white, what are they called? White wands. Veronicas, they're doing okay. And poking up at some funny angles here are some lilies. Seems to be on the wrong side of that one. There are some lilies there. Hopefully they'll come up and I won't have too much of a problem with lily beetle. And all along the back here I've got some white cosmos. Around here these are Liatris alba, so they'll come up throwing up some white spikes. And behind here you can just see some small, these are mallow. Just there, so they're only coming up small at the moment. So in these pots, either side here, I've got Peruvian daffodils. They send up some big, high white flowers, beautifully scented. And I've made a bit of a schoolboy error here. So I have a lovely clematis here, Duchess of Edinburgh, there, and I've put it on the wrong side, I think. This is the side that gets the least of the sun, so I reckon I should have put it on that side, which I think I'll remedy next year. I'll move it at the end of the year. And I've got a couple of hostas again there that I've just split from other ones, and the one there is looking a bit better. I think that's in the shadier area, so I think I'm going to have to move that other hosta possibly to there. That gets a bit more shade. I'm quite pleased with these this hedge of privet starting to fill out. I'm going to let it grow and grow to a good 5 foot high before I really do any cutting. I'm going to let it grow and then I'll start to cut it once it gets to the height that I want it to get to. But you know, it's not the great privacy hedge it should be, but it's looking good. And if we sit down into and have a look at the area that we'll, you know, at some point, nice and shady in here, and then when this area, because I'll be building the paths in between those two raised rock planters that I've put there, a path that will be going all the way along there out into the orchard, and I'll have more shrubs either side there and apples, low growing apples as well. And what else have I planted this year? I'll come out here. So this bush close, what was it? Where's she gone? Lime close bush clematis. It's doing not too bad there, so hopefully that will grow nice and big throughout the year and produce white flowers. So that's it for this new area. I'm quite pleased with it. Oh no, we haven't even done this side, have we? Excuse me. So we've got some dahlias, one that's just about to flower, another one there, another Liatris, it's just alba, it's just coming up the back there. 1, 2, 3, 4 of the cosmos are just starting to grow up nicely now. And that's about it on this side. I'm quite sparse at the moment. I was hoping I had a lily there somewhere, but it doesn't seem to have come up. But generally, again, will come out. I'm quite pleased with that, you know. It's not looking massive yet, and I'll still need a hedge, and I'm probably going to put some sort of trellising across the side here to grow some climbers up. But other than that, I'm generally pleased with that area. Looking good. So let's move on to the swimming pool area that I planted up this year, and I'm quite pleased with that one. As we walk into the back garden, main back garden area here, these are the sort of the borders that I've been developing. But what we're going to do first is look into the pool area just had to shoo away the lesser spotted Mrs. F. I think she was sunbathing there, so she's gone. Not been able to do as much in here as I wanted to do this year. There's just a dahlia there, and another dahlia, and some cannas that I potted up this year. They're just tiding me over. But the main bit I planted up this year, let's take another look at the pool. It's always nice on a sunny day, isn't it? But the main bit I planted up this year is this raised bed, which I'm very pleased, and it's coming on really well. So what have we got in here? So we start in this corner here, and we've got some morning glory climbing up this this side trellis here, and there's also a sweet pea in there as well as there's a sweet pea here. Got a nice, I can't tell you what colours these dahlias are because I forgot to label them when I put them away last year. Yeah, I know, schoolboy error again. But yeah, that's looking nice. Here's a couple of hostas, 1, 2, that I split up from another area, and they're romping away. I've had to keep cutting them back at the moment because they're threatening to take over. In the middle of them, got a nice canna there. One of the cannas that I split up. I had 1 canna last year, and then I split them up into 6. Might have even been 7 different cannas, and they all come up really well. To complete this back row was a little shade, well, what I thought was a shadier area. It's this lovely fern that I just dug out of the woods at the back there, but he's looking very nice. And again, another canna. I can't remember what these are. Mrs. F bought them for my birthday, but I'm sure they're coming up nicely, so that's good. Another nice dahlia that's doing really well. Another canna. These are doing really well as well. Some gladioli there, and you got the usual sort of annuals that I've just used to bed it out a bit. But yeah, I'm really pleased with that, and when it starts to come into flower soon, in the next month, that is going to look absolutely terrific. But I've stopped short of, because I wanted to put all window boxes and hanging baskets all round, but you know, I've spent a lot of money this year already, so there's only so much money I want to spend in 1 year on plants. But yeah, generally I'm pleased with that. So that's one area gone forward, and I've also planted behind here a grapevine, which is normally in a bit more. So hopefully that'll grow up there, and then it'll get himself up into the sunlight, and I can grow that all the way around here. So that is the swimming pool area. If we exit swimming pool area stage left and come into a couple of new areas that I've actually developed new beds this year. So this is brand new, and half of this area here is brand new, up to sort of where the first wigwam is all brand new, hence it looking a bit sparse. At the moment I've just got some lupins in there that I dug up that were wild from the front there. Lots of geraniums, the old crane's bills that I've dug up from all the various areas around here actually, and split them up into about 20 different pairs, but they'll soon bush out, they will. Hosta, I've dug that out from another area. It's a lovely colour again. That'll soon fill out nicely at the front here. These Aquilegia, I always forget how tall they're going to get. If you can see, they're quite tall here, but obviously in the springtime it's only their they're sort of bushes here that are showing. You think, oh, they're not that tall, so I should put them to the front. So actually I'm going to move these to a bit further back around the sort of area where the lupins are, just behind, and they can be climbing up over some sort of front planting next year. But they've done really well. Beautiful little flowers. Granny's bonnets they call them as well, don't they? And columbine obviously. But as you can see, there's the old Granny's bonnet. Yeah, lovely. And they self-seed everywhere. So I've got them coming up all over the manor. But, you know, not worried about that. Beautiful plant. These are some more of the Shasta daisies that I split up. There were, I think it was 1 or 2 clumps I had. And now I've got those 2 that were in that raised bed area. And 1, 2, 3, 4. So that split up really well. So they'll grow up a good 5 feet. So I'm happy with that. This I've just put in a hydrangea there. It looks very small, and I'm hoping that's going to fill out and fill this area, because that's looking sparse. Because I've just dug out a big massive, what was the old front of a border, and I've dug out all of these geraniums and moved them all towards the front. But that's why that's bare there at the moment. So I need to find something short term for that. Here is a clematis, just growing up this wigwam now. He's only literally in the last few weeks started to get going, and now it's throwing itself about all over the place. So that will soon take over that whole wigwam, and hopefully later on in the summer we'll have some beautiful flowers. So if we start again on this side, we've just looked at that side, start this side of the pergola. There's a honeysuckle, just getting himself going there. Again, this is a brand new border, it's looking quite sparse. The thing is, there's not that much earth in there at the moment, so because I put a layer, it was grass, put a layer of cardboard down, and then a layer of topsoil, that topsoil that I got delivered that wasn't particularly good. So I've got some gladioli in there at the moment, and some rudbeckia there. So I've got a ribbon of rudbeckia going across there. These are more digitalis, 1, 2, 3. There's some cosmos that was supposed to be getting himself going, but obviously they're not really happy there. Maybe the shade of the tree that is sometimes shading this great big massive maple that I'm supposedly chopping down. Next year I'll definitely use it. Of course, there's too much fuss with the pool, and it's not as if I'm short of trees in this garden. Quite a few of them. So coming back to the border, so I'm not, I've created this border this year. It's not doing that much. I'll get a lot more compost and really good material in there next year, and hopefully have a better border next year. Like these here, this has been in a few years now, so we've got some nice daylilies. They throw up, lovely, thinky, yellowy orangey daylilies coming there. Got some purple liatris, 1, 2, 3, 4, split them up this year, so that's good. A centaurea at the end there, and some more of your some more of the geraniums, cranesbill, all around there, and some lovely little dianthus there, and over in the, you can see there, beautiful little front of the border rockery type plant there. What else we got? Oh yeah, I've got a couple of dahlias in there at the moment, so that should start coming up and flowering soon. And on this side I've got the sister daylily, and then I've got the queen of this border, a peony. Just my peony's come out a bit late, so this one here is just thinking about it. It's just having a giving me a bit of a tease at the moment. So I've got these, and I've got these. I've just got some basic twigs in here, keeping these staked up, you know, so it doesn't look too obvious. There we go. And I've made another school barrier. I've put this again when the peonies smaller early on in the year. You put I wasn't thinking straight there, and I've put a dahlia that, and I don't know whether it's doing all right there or not. That one there is definitely not, so I need to remove that one, I think. And here's a bit of a pickle. I thought these were cosmos, and I was expecting this cosmos to come all the way out here, nice big height. 1, 2, there, and another couple there. I'm expecting them to fill all this space around here, but they don't look much like cosmos, and they're definitely not growing up. And I've grown them from seed, so someone's put a dodgy packet in there for me. But there we go. So this wigwam here, it's a bit ropey looking, but it's got some sweet peas. 1, 2, and 3 there, sweet peas. So they'll soon start coming up now. I'll start feeding them well. And I've got another, if I look behind there, sweet pea coming up there, and on the other side. What else have we got around here? So what we have missed is the great, and I'll actually put up a video now and some photographs of the great creeping phlox flowering that I had earlier on in the month. Absolutely stunning. Just carpeted this area because I've got lots of it all over the place, and in the front I'll show you later on as well. Absolutely stunning they were this year. And here, just starting to go over now, are some lovely iris, some blue ones there, and then some yellow ones, some nice big tall yellow ones there. They were the first times these have flowered for me this year actually. I moved them and gave their rhizomes a bit more of an uncovering, because they like their rhizomes baked. So yeah, so they've done well for me this year. Some beautiful yellow flowers there, and that's always nice. Look at that blue against the pink at the back there as well. So that's nice. And obviously the chives here, these are just going over now, so I'm going to cut these back. They were looking nice earlier on in the month. And all of these geraniums, funnily enough, are just about from one plant all the way along the border there. They're just going over now, so I'm going to cut them right back. I'm going to cut them right back to the ground, and they'll regrow, and I might even get a reflowering later on. But I'll give something else a chance to come through. What else we got? There's that clematis at the back there. Some daylilies. These daylilies, I'd split all of these. These were big clumps of daylilies. I've split them up. That's why they're looking smaller there, but I'm investing for the future right now. So this area, I did have hostas all the way along here last year, but I've taken them out, and I've got another hydrangea in there now, so hopefully that'll fill this big space. At the moment I've just got some gladioli there, and I did plant some monarda, I thought, all the way along here. I'd split a monarda up, and I was hoping, see where these round stalks are, there, and another one I did have there, but I've taken it out there. But none of them have survived the winter. I lost quite a few plants this winter. This, like here, is where a lovely clematis, I can't remember which one it was, beautiful purple flowers. I've had it 4 years, and then this year it just died on me. Harsh winter, very harsh winter. Here we go again, more queen bills all the way along, and all the way along here I have rudbeckia will be coming. I'll split a lot of it up, but that will be, as you know, as the late summer comes on, it's always a beautiful display of rudbeckia all the way along there. And that's why I've added some of these daylilies of the more yellowy orangey, so that'll hopefully sort of run in to those the colours there will mix in. There's a couple of nice girt big valerian. They're beautiful. I love the smell. Some people don't like it, but I like it, and I think they've obviously self-seeded themselves all over the place there. So I'm going to let a few grow, and then I'll obviously have to get amongst picking it all out. Here's some more of that lovely Aquilegia. As you can see, this is a more shady area, so it's still flowering beautifully. And coming round here, it's another nice little hosta, another hosta. So there we go. That's these two main, but they're a bit messy, you know, a bit cottage gardeny looking. While I sort of find my way with these borders, really, you know, just created these over the last couple of years, moving things around, try not to spend too much money, but they're getting there. They're getting there. It's better than grass anyway. So moving on to my last new border. So these are still all the rocks that I haven't moved yet from last year's building of the swimming pool. This is going to be a new border, but I haven't filled it in yet. But this is a new border, and I'm pretty pleased with this border here. So this is in front of the swimming pool, and in the afternoon gets the sun all day. So let's start at this end. So more gladioli. Here is a dahlia, some more gladioli. At the back there is a clematis. You know, and as usual, can't remember what it's called. Another dahlia, look, that's coming up nicely now. Just about to flower. And this is one of the yellow iris that you just saw, a young version, one that I've split out, and that'll come good in years to come, because as you can see, let me move round out of the shade. As you can see, the rhizome, I'm letting it be showing slightly, so it's getting really baked. It gets really hot round here, so this is going to love it there. A nice Achillea, I just bought that, just put that in yesterday. So hopefully that'll look nice against the yellow iris when that flowers next time. And this is the first of one of my, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 sunflowers, and hopefully they're going to grow up high, you know, nearly as high as this fencing here, and give me a good show all the way across the front there. Then I've got a nice river of gladiola going across there. At the back there is a honeysuckle with bright orange flowers that we'll have. That's starting to go nicely up the trellis, and hopefully that's going to, you know, take over the whole of the front there, and I'll put some wires all the way across there when it starts to get up there. Another dahlia, oh, and we've missed another one of my cannas that I split out. Now here's a funny one, the old funny plants. So here's a poppy, starting to do well now. Here is another poppy, can you see that? That I planted at exactly the same time, that was from exactly the same seeds. They were both the same size, so I know they're a bit finicky with their tap roots, poppies, oriental poppies. So that one's done really well, and that one's been struggling, but hopefully it will start to recover. And here's some sweet peas that I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 all the way along, and it's probably about 7 of them. Hopefully they'll start romping up the back. Here's a new grass, a maiden grass that I've just put in there, flanked either side by some some sunflowers, more gladioli, and an iris at the end. So yeah, again, you know, there's lots of earth can be shown, but that's quite a long border, and I'm looking forward to that in the years to come. I'm going to get when I get some more good compost in there, because basically just underneath the amount of earth I'll put in is just this ground and hardcore. So I've dug it out a bit, but yeah, so I'm pleased with that as it is so far. So I'm just going to show you a curious thing in my veg beds and show you the power of good compost. So this is walking into my left-hand vegetable beds area. It's all doing very nicely at the moment. There's some more tomato plants that I've still haven't found a home for. This is my this year's sweet corn bed. And that's all just starting to come up now. But this compost that I made last year, I had lots of seedlings of various different things, like these kale and this Asian greens, but 1, 2, 3 sunflowers just come up from seed. I've moved one so they're all in a row now, but if you compared the size of those in that bed over there, in not particularly good compost, but you know, really sunny area, so these ones go at big ones already, and they've just come up from seed. So yeah, the power of good compost. So that is about it for my flower garden so far. I'll show you one last day. I'm not particularly proud of this area. It's more of a holding area at the moment, because next year this whole garden here at the front of my house is going to be turned into a formal garden. Mind you, that's if I finish the apple orchard at the back like. But here, I wanted to show you this area. It doesn't look much. It's good. I'm trying to make it a sort of grass area at the moment. But if you can see all of this creeping phlox that's all around there. Now I'm just going to switch over to about a month ago, and how beautiful is that? All along the right hand side here, going round, and then because I'm going to let this grass, because I'm going to basically take all this up next year, or the year after, I've let this creeping phlox grow out into the grass, and when there's nothing else really around, it creates an absolutely beautiful sight in the springtime. So there we go. Let's move on back round to the new orchard garden. So there we go. Bit of a tour around my developing, I'll say, developing flower beds, etc. You know, I completely brand new built this area this year, and the one in front of the swimming pool, that's newly developed, and those areas that I've moved on. You know, there's a lot of plants needed, and most of the time here I've sort of split and borrowed and taken plants from other areas to make these new areas up. So costs a lot of money, doesn't it? So next year hopefully I should have more plants in there, or later on in the year I should have more plants, and it should get better and better over the next couple of years. So, but we'll return next month to see how this area, hopefully the flowers are going to be out and the grasses will be taller. I'm really looking forward to this starting to flower, and I might even have some trellising up the side to give that start of the secret garden look. Anyway, if you like my videos, or like this video or any of my other videos, please click like, and don't forget to subscribe if you're a newbie and you want to see any more and you like the look of some of my other videos. I'm bringing them out hopefully twice weekly at the moment. Next week is going to be a bit of a change, but you'll have to tune in for my surprise video. And in fact, actually, I should be very soon starting the Optimistic Gardener in the Kitchen series. There's no point having all those lovely veg that I'm growing down there without being able to make some nice recipes out of them. So keep a lookout for them. And so that's it for this week, and all I've got left to say is job's a good one.